Dear students, in today's lecture we'll learn soft gelatin capsule. So as we have learned, there are two types of capsule. One is hard gelatin capsule, which is composed of cap and body, and another is soft gelatin capsule, which is hermetically sealed. Okay, there is no layer or no separation in these capsules. So soft gelatin capsules are hermetically sealed one-piece capsules containing a liquid, suspension, paste or semi-solid fill. They are made of a soft, flexible gelatin shell that is plasticized with agents such as glycerin, sorbitol or propylene glycol. So these are hermetically sealed, but hard gelatin capsules are not hermetically sealed. These are one-piece capsules, but hard gelatin capsules are two-piece capsules. So let's see the advantages and disadvantages of soft gelatin capsule. First of all, convert liquid or semi-solid drugs into solid dosage form, easy to handle, store and dose. Avoid problems of mixing and compression seen in tablet. So during tableting, we have seen it requires mixing and compression, and for this mixing and compression we need to use a lot of blenders or compression machine, punch machine, die cavity. Okay, so in case of soft gelatin capsule we will see that the equipments are smaller in number. Then during the tablet manufacturing we have found out different tableting problem like capping, lamination, chipping, mottling, etc. But in case of soft gelatin capsule, these problems are avoided. Then enhance stability of oxygen and moisture sensitive drugs sealed and protected from air. Improved bioavailability. Drug is already in solution, faster dissolution and absorption. So this is one of the uh, good property of soft gelatin capsule, because by this we are having greater bioavailability. Okay, in case of tablet it need to be disintegrated, then it should be come into dissolution, but here no disintegration occurred, and the drug is already in solution. Okay, however there are some disadvantages like it is expensive to manufacture. Then moisture sensitive. High humidity can make capsules sticky, bloomed. Low humidity can make them brittle. Then limited to water miscible liquids. Then heat sensitive. High temperature can soften or deform the capsule. So there are some other advantages and disadvantages. We'll discuss this later. So these are some other pros and cons of soft gelatin capsules. So speaking of the advantages, it masks unpleasant taste or odor. So more patient friendly and improves compliance. Then it provides precise dose and content uniformity, so low risk of dose variation. It can be made in attractive color and shapes, good for brand identity and patient acceptance. Okay, we have already seen that soft gelatin capsule can be found in different colors and different shapes. Then tamper evident due to hermetic seal. In hard gelatin capsule, we have found out that there is a risk of separation of cap and body. But in case of soft gelatin capsule, as it is hermetically sealed, this problem can be minimized. However, some more disadvantages like formulation development is complex and it requires careful selection of fill and shell composition. Then specialized packaging required blister packs or bottle with desiccants. Then it is not suitable for hygroscopic or volatile drug, may migrate into shell or cause leakage. So there is also risk of interaction between fill and shell, requires compatibility studies. Now let's see the composition of soft gelatin capsule shell. We have read this in previous lecture of hard gelatin capsule. Okay, so the composition seems to be much more similar as that of hard gelatin capsule. So let's start. First one is gelatin, plasticizer, water, opacifier, preservatives, flavor. So these all are much more similar to that of hard gelatin capsule. So first of all, gelatin, these are base material forming the capsule shell, provide structure and flexibility. So this is the main component of soft gelatin capsule because this component separates itself from any other dosage form like liquid dosage form, semi-solid dosage form, suppositories, tablets, okay, etc. Then the plasticizer, so glycerin, sorbitol, PEG 400 imparts softness, flexibility and elasticity to the shell. Ratio of gelatin to plasticizer affects hardness. Okay, typical ratio is 1 is to 0.4 or 1 is to 0.6. Then water, it maintains desired moisture, typically 30 to 40% of shell weight. Then opacifier or colorant, like titanium oxide or iron oxide. Titanium oxide is opacifier, iron oxide is colorants. Provide opacity or color for product identification and light protection. The next one is preservative. Okay, we have already read this in different lectures like methylparaben, propylparaben. These prevent microbial growth since shell contain water. Okay, as we know shell contains water, so there is high risk of hydrolysis or microbial presence in the capsule shell. So preservative will prevent the attack of microorganism. The last one is flavor or sweeteners. These are optional, however, these improve palatability for chewable soft gels. So after the capsule shell, we will now study about the fill materials. Okay, what would be inside the capsule? It can be liquid fills, it can be semi-solid fills, and it can be solid fills. Okay, solid fills are rare in case of soft gelatin capsule. Basically, liquid or semi-solid fills are more common. Okay, so in soft gelatin capsule, we can provide oils, solution in non-aqueous solvents, suspension of drug in suitable vehicles, self-emulsifying drug delivery systems as liquid fills. Moreover, we can apply paste, ointments, thixotropic formulations, wax-based matrix as semi-solid fills, and some powders, granules, pellets, solid dispersions as solid fills. So important notice is fill must be water immiscible to avoid gelatin dissolution and should not migrate into the shell. So this is important consideration which should be taken into consideration in case of formulation of soft gelatin capsule, because if the fill are water miscible, okay, then what will ultimately happen? It will ultimately get mixed with the water of the shell. Okay, because we have already read that water is one of the prime component of the capsule shell. Okay, so the filling material should be water immiscible. Now let's check different types of soft gel fill matrix: lipophilic liquid or oils, hydrophilic liquids, self-emulsifying oils, microemulsion or nanoemulsion systems, suspensions. So lipophilic oils include triglyceride oils such as soybean oil are commonly used in soft gel. Active ingredients like hydroxycholecalciferol estradiol can be formulated for soft gel encapsulation. Okay. Then hydrophilic liquid. Polar liquid with sufficiently higher molecular weight are commonly used such as polyethylene glycol. Self-emulsifying oils, a combination of pharmaceutical oint and non-ionic surfactant such as polyoxyethylene sorbitol monooleate can provide an oily formulation which disperses readily in the GI fluid. Then microemulsion or nanoemulsion. In a microemulsion, the droplet size is in the submicron range. A nanoemulsion describes a similar system, but droplet size is not in the 100 nanometer size. Both of them has advantage of capacity to solubilize drug compounds and to retain the drug in the solution even after dilution in GI fluids. And the last one is suspension. Okay, we can also provide suspension in the soft gel capsule. Drugs that are insoluble in soft gel fill matrices are formulated as suspension. With the appropriate choice of excipients, soft gel suspension can have improved bioavailability. So these are some of the fill materials that can be incorporated into the soft gelatin capsule. So here is the overall preparation for soft gelatin capsule. There are four types or four methods for the preparation of soft gelatin capsule, like plate methods, eco-gel process, seamless gelatin capsules, and rotary dye method. Okay, so we'll discuss about rotary dye method because it's one of the most commonly used technique for the preparation of soft gelatin capsule in pharmaceutical manufacturing area. So let's start with rotary dye method. The rotary dye process in the standard industrial method for the large scale production of soft gelatin capsules. It allows continuous high-speed encapsulation of liquid, suspensions, and semi-solid into a hermetically sealed one-piece gelatin shell. Two continuous ribbons of gelatin are brought together between rotary dies. The fill material is simultaneously injected between these ribbons and the rotating dies cut from fill seal the capsules in a single step. So the overall approach seems to be very complex. For easy understanding, we have provide a separate video which will be found in this link. So now let's see the construction of this machine. The machine used for the process contains two hoppers, one for the hot liquid gelatin mix while other for the semi-solid or liquid fill. These are two rotating dies containing cavities of desired shape and size which rotate in opposite direction. In a rotary die machine, the soft gelatin capsules are prepared and then filled immediately with the liquid medicaments. So this is the overall construction for the rotary die method. We can see this is the gel and this is the fill material. Fill material is coming in the middle direction. These are the rotary die. Okay. This instrumentation is as like as that of dry granulation. Okay, we have learned about roller compaction during the dry granulation of tablet. Okay, so we'll see here that in the middle of the position the active ingredient is coming down and by the side the soft gel is coming. Okay, here API is coming and this is the soft gel which will get attached in this location in a predetermined manner. So I have a full separate video on rotary soft gelatin capsule filling machine. If you have any confusion regarding the overall process of preparation of soft gelatin capsule by this method, please watch this video. Now the working of rotary die method. Liquid gelatin mixture is placed in one hopper and the liquid medicament in the another hopper. There are two rotating dies which rotate in opposite direction. When fluid gelatin mixture enters into machine, it produces two continuous ribbons. These ribbons come over the rotating dies from opposite directions and enter in between dies. Thus, half shell of the capsule is formed. At this stage, measured quantity of medicament is filled into it with stroke of pump. With the subsequent movement of the dies, the other half of the capsule is formed. Two halves of the capsules are sealed together by heat and pressure of rotating dies. So these are the overall working and construction of rotary die method for the preparation of soft gelatin capsule. A whole separate video regarding the animation of this preparation have been shown and its link is being given in the description below. So this is the overall approach as we have already discussed. So there are some pros and cons of this rotary die method, like high production speed, accurate fill weight, uniform capsule size and shape, can fill liquids, suspension and semi-solid, leak-proof sealing, minimal material wastage, suitable for automation. However, there are some disadvantages like high equipment cost, need skilled operators, not ideal for heat or moisture sensitive drugs, complex maintenance, uneconomical for small batches, possible drug gelatin incompatibility. So it is not ideal for heat or moisture sensitive drug, because the moisture sensitive drug will ultimately react with the gelatin. So these are the different shape and size of soft gelatin capsule, as we have already seen here. The oblong shape, which is the most common, the round or oval shape for single dose oil or vitamins, the tube or pear shaped, often used for the ophthalmic or veterinary use, suppository shaped for rectal or vaginal administration, twist off or tube type shape. So these are the overall size and shape of the soft gelatin capsule. In the picture we can already see that. So there are some use for soft gelatin capsule. Depending on the combination, we can use it to supplement or boost the dietary requirements. So food products or herbal products can be administered by soft gelatin capsule. Boost the body energy requirement for gymnasts and certain illness. Improve oral bioavailability of compounds that are poorly soluble, delivering ultra low or low dosages of different compounds, delivering low melting point compounds, improving the ease of oral medication due to the lack of taste and odor. So these are the overall uses of soft gelatin capsule. Now let's discuss the evolution of capsule. So this is common for both hard gelatin and soft gelatin capsule. First of all, appearance and physical inspection. Examine capsules under good light for shape, size, color, surface finish, uniformity, cracks, dents, stickiness or leakage. Capsule should be smooth, uniformly colored and free from physical defects. Then content of active ingredients, that is content uniformity. The content of API is determined on a sample of 20 capsules by following assay procedure as indicated in individual monograph. The result of the assay gives the average drug content of 20 capsules, which must lie within the range for the content of active ingredient stated in the monograph, which is usually 90 to 110% of the label claim. So this evaluation is as like as that of tablet evaluation, as we have already learned. The next one is uniformity of weight. In this test, 20 intake capsules are first weighed and individually, and then weighed after removing their content. Difference between two weights gives weight of content. No more than 2 capsules should deviate from average weight of the content. This test is not applicable to capsules that are liquid, that are required for complying with the test for content uniformity of active ingredient. And the next one is content uniformity. This test is applicable to capsules which have high content of less than 100 milligram 10 milligram, or when the active ingredient comprises less than 10% of the total capsule content. This test is however not applicable to capsules containing multivitamins and trace elements. In this test, 10 capsules are assayed individually by the method specified in the individual monograph. Okay, so for content for uniformity of weight, we used 20 capsules, and for content uniformity, we used 10 capsules. Then total 30 capsules are selected. 10 of these are assayed individually. 9 of these contain 85 to 115% of the drug, and none contain outside the 75 to 125% of the drug. If 1 to 3 of them are failed outside of 85 to 115% limits, then the remaining 20 capsules are individually assayed and requirements are met. If no, few of 27 must contain 85 to 115% of drugs, and all must contain 75 to 1 to 5% of the drug. So these are the criteria for the content uniformity as indicated by individual monograph. So the next one is disintegration and dissolution test. So the disintegration test for capsule is similar to that used for testing of tablets. Test is not applicable to modified release capsules or capsules for which dissolution test is prescribed. The hard gelatin capsules are expected to disintegrate within 30 minutes, while the soft gelatin capsules in 30 minutes, unless otherwise specified, when water is used as the testing fluid. Then the next one is dissolution test. We know the basket and paddle USP apparatus 2, 3 are available. Dissolution test for the capsule is essentially similar to that followed for tablets, with the acceptance criteria also being the same as that of capsules. However, where the capsule shells are found to interfere with the analysis, necessary correction can be made by dissolving the empty shell of not less than 6 capsules in the specified volume of dissolution medium. The next one is moisture permeation test. The moisture permeation test for capsule is a quality control procedure designed to evaluate how well the capsule shell protects its content from moisture ingress. Test procedure is capsule are packaged together with a color revealing desiccant pellets inside a container. The packaged unit is exposed to a controlled relative humidity environment for a specified duration. The desiccant pellet is observed for any color change which indicates absorption of the moisture. Additionally, the pre-test and post-test weight of the packaged unit are compared to quantify the amount of moisture absorbed. So these are the overall tests for the evaluation of capsule. If you have any confusion regarding the preparation and evaluation of soft gelatin capsule, please inform me in the comment section. Thank you.